Hello everybody! So today we're going to look at a couple of things I picked up in the Schmincke Horodam Jackson sale. I had a little bit of affiliate credit for this guy, so this one was kind of a splurge purchase here. It's a really interesting paint called Random Grey, and I think Schmincke releases one of these per year. I think it's normally in oil paint, but they did a watercolor one this year. So this is just a collection of surplus colors or pigments that they have left over, and they mix it all together and make this Random Grey. So I thought this would be a really fun one to have a look at. So I'm going to swatch that out. And then we have the Trio Volcano. These ones are just 5 mils, so teeny ones. And I already own the Volcano Brown in a half pan and I love it. So I wanted to get this little pack because I hadn't tried the violet or the red. And I know I love this, so this was on sale and I thought it would be great to have some more of that guy and to try these ones out. And I also got the Forest Grey and the Tundra Violet. So I am excited to swatch these out and have a look at them. So let's get started. Alright, so first up we have the 2022 Random Grey, which when you're laying it down it just looks kind of like a warm grey. But once it dries, it separates out into these beautiful shades of purple and a little bit of brown. So it's going to be a really interesting grey to work with. So next up we have the Volcano Brown, which is this gorgeous brown that has this red in it that when it dries it separates out into the two colors like really strongly. So this one is a really dynamic color and gives you a lot of bang for your buck for one tube of paint. And here we have the Volcano Red, which I believe is a pigment that only Schmincke has, and that's why they've kind of incorporated it into this Volcano series. And this is a really interesting red, leaning more towards the orangey brown, but super granulating, and will be interesting to mix with other colors, I think. We have the Volcano Violet, which is this delicious, rich color with the PV62 and the PR108, so that red again. And this one separates out a little bit, but the red is really mixed in there quite well, and the purple just separates out a little bit. So you get this muted red and this gorgeous sort of purple halo as it dries. And here is our Forest Grey, which is more of a green, I would say, sort of a greenish, brownish color. And it's beautiful. When it's wet, it's this lovely sort of khaki army green color. And then when it dries, it separates out into sort of a yellowy green brown color. So really lovely. And then last but not least, we have the Tundra Violet, which is the PB29 and PBR6. And this is a gorgeous, deep sort of blue, navy blue, purpley color that has some highlights in brownish orange and also in some bright, vibrant blue. So super interesting when it dries and separates out. Okay, so I thought I would do a quick little abstract landscape using these guys. I think I'm going to try and use all of them, which will be crazy, but I think it'll be fun to have a look at what we can do. So I just wet the paper here, so it's all wet all over, and I'm going to do a wash. I believe that one's the Random Grey. So I'm going to do like a light wash. I'm kind of putting paint on here, but I'm just going to do a big wash across the whole thing. And when I'm doing landscapes, I tend to try and bring the sky all the way down to the bottom. It gets a little lighter as it goes down, but I like to bring the color all the way on the paper because I never really know where I'm going to put the land, and I feel like the transition is better if it's just all the way across. So I'm bringing it all the way down here, and then I can kind of decide where I'm going to start the land once the sky is in place. And then I'm just dotting that Random Grey in here, just randomly, just trying to make some clouds. And because the paper's already wet, it's going to diffuse into that paper and be really soft. It looks kind of harsh right now. And I'm just grabbing a big brush and doing some directional lines, just kind of like making the highlights sort of go down like rays. So really subtle, and I'll do a little more of that later with a bigger brush too. I'm just using a little bit of tissue here to take off some of the paint to reveal some more of the white highlights in the clouds. Again, this is more of that Tundra violet. And I'm just putting some water in now to make the cauliflowers. I want them to be a little fluffier, a little more interesting, and also the granulation shows a little better with lots more water. So this is the Volcano brown, I believe. And putting some of that Tundra violet in the background there just to make it look a little bluer in the background so it's further back. And this is the forest grey going in, so it's a kind of a greenish color. Some more of that Tundra violet back there, and I'm going to take some of this off in a minute with a tissue just to blot it out because it's looking a little too dark, but I wanted that purpley tone to be in there. And then just sort of putting a dividing line there between the hills in the foreground and the hill in the background. I mean, this is just abstract, but, you know, want it to be a little bit more accurate. And then just playing around now with that forest grey, bringing in some green in the foreground there. And then adding in this volcano red, which I kind of wanted it to look like trees on fire or lava or something, but I don't know, it's abstract, so, you know, just go with your imagination. But I think this is where I just kind of started to get carried away. So I think I'm just putting a bit too much paint on and probably should have kept it a little more subtle and stopped around now. But, you know, I'm just playing around with the medium and seeing how it looks. Going with the flow. Not every piece is going to be a masterpiece, and especially when you have a new medium that you're playing with, you know, just sort of experiment and see what it's capable of doing. I'm just doing some detail work here with the raw paint rather than mixing it with water, just so I get some nice density. Just putting some texture in, some land lines. Adding some more of that red in to really emphasize the burning trees. Or the river of blood. Who knows? That sounds kind of morbid, doesn't it? Maybe it's a beautiful field of roses. It's up to you how you see it. And that's it. I'm glad I stopped there because I think I was about to really overwork it. So here's our quick little abstract landscape I actually ended up using all of the paints that I got. So all 6, I just wanted to throw them all in there and go crazy. But I love the sky. I love how the sky turned out. That is just beautiful with that granulation. I think I used the random gray and the Tundra violet. Yeah, because we've got this haloing here. And it just made it like super moody, and oh, I just really love it. So the granulation worked well. I think I totally overworked all of this, and I kind of just wanted to put every color in there. So, but it was fun, and I think the key to using these are just to let them speak for themselves. Like with this sky, I didn't do much messing around. I didn't do much layering. I just kind of let it flow, and then you can see these different colors coming out, which are just really organic. So this, I think I tried too hard in here to add texture and add more dimension to it and stuff like that. And I think what I want to use these granulating colors in particular for is just for an area and then just let it talk, because yeah, I think I'm just overworking it way too much here. So I think they're going to be really lovely to work with. I might try another one with just one color. I think because of all these different colors are in here, you know, trying to add this kind of lava fire thing and then the green and then the background, it's just too much. So I think I want to try just doing maybe a couple of studies with just one of these colors, because they're so multi-dimensional and have all these the color range in there. You know, there's 2 to 3 colors in each of these. So it's really interesting. I really enjoyed them, and I love texture, and I just love how moody that sky is. It's almost like smoke and mist and overcast and everything. I just love it. So yeah, I'm gonna do something more with that, and maybe just do another study, a couple of studies with just single colors. Yeah, so these are really interesting. How do you guys use them? If any of you have the Schmincke granulating paints out there, do you use them all in one painting, or, you know, do you use several of them in each painting, or are you sort of popping it into other paintings that have just non-granulating colors to show some emphasis or texture somewhere? Yeah, I'd be really interested to know how everyone's using these. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!